I've asked Tom Vlach to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the September 7th, 2017 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners. My name is Bob Archer. I currently serve as chair of the commission and have the honor to serve with Commissioner Shelley Bueller, who represents District 1, and Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. First item of business, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are a couple of items on the agenda I wanted to point out. Number one is that a little bit late we added item A3, and this was time critical issue, so I added that. It wasn't on the initial agenda. And item 3.6 I need to have pulled because that needs a little bit more work before it's ready to go on the agenda. If there's not a issue with that, then now I think we're ready to proceed. First item of business, please.
Item 3, consent agenda, minus the number 6.
Okay. Are there questions or comments on the consent?
I have none. I'll move approval.
Second. Motion made to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please, ma'am.
Item 4, new business A, county clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers that total $1,438,762.25. The highlights out of the voucher report are employee withholdings of $94,169.35. We had allocations, which included the payment to SMG, or to, for the, yes, to SMG. I'm getting my entities correct. And that was $230,889.64. We had a bridge fund, $183,199.32. Equipment for a oil distributor truck, and that was $159,887. Our health insurance premium, $177,874.20. Holding accounts with the state of Kansas for motor vehicle, $182,309.46. And then finally, Parks and Recreation of $112,803.59. I do not have any questions regarding the vouchers and would move for their approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the vouchers by Commissioner Cook, and that was seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the correction orders by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2017-50, authorizing a cereal malt beverage license, including Sunday sales, for La Roca's Pizza Express, located at 5145 Southwest Topeka Boulevard. And Commissioners, I want to thank you for adding this. It was a little bit late, but this is the business has been there for a period of time. This is a new owner, and so everything has passed muster. There was no property taxes due on the property. The KBI investigation, everything was fine on that. The township had been notified, and the health inspection was made. County council reviewed everything and found no descriptions in there, so we are asking that this be approved so they can start selling cereal malt beverage.
Okay. I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Register of Deeds, Number one, consider acceptance of transfer of $150,000 from the Register of Deeds Technology Fund to the Land Records Fund to be used for expenditures in other county offices related to land or property records.
Good morning, Commissioners. Becky Neosi, Register of Deeds. As you know, the Register of Deeds has a technology fund. It's $2 per page on most of the documents that come into our office. If there are any excess funds, they can be transferred to the general fund. They are technology related, though, so we have a committee set up to make sure that those funds are spent properly. And we actually changed the process. In the past, it was kind of a first-come, first-served basis. Now we're trying to plan a year in advance, so these funds will be earmarked for 2019. We'll be accepting requests for these funds up to February 15th. So if you have any questions, I'll answer those.
You said they were transferred to the general fund,
Okay.
land records.
Well, okay, so they're general fund monies, but we put them in a special fund, which is the Land Records Fund.
Yes. But the land records fund is outside of the general fund.
Okay, sorry about that.
I just wanted to make a clarification.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there questions or comments for Becky?
I'll move to accept the transfer of the $150,000 from the Register of Deeds Technology Fund to the Land Records Fund.
That's lovely. Second, and thank you.
Thank you. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you again, Becky. Next item, please.
Item C, corrections. Number one, consider authorization and execution of contract C-292-2017 with Advanced Coating, Inc. as a sole source to resurface floors in 3 specialty inmate cells at a cost of $38,645 with funding from the 2017 budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is a request to use a sole source of advanced coatings to be able to resurface and to redo the floors in our protrusion-free cells that are inmates that are on special statuses use. These floors have been sealed a couple of times in the past. It's the original floors. Now, with recent audits and things that are coming through and the housing of our special and needs inmates, we're finding that floor is starting to deteriorate a little bit, and it's not being able to hold its seal. We have used advanced coatings in the past. Many times we've bid them out. Every time they've come back as the most responsible bid. We've been very happy with them. They've done our showers that have met good codes and have met all of our inspections to reduce mold, anything like that. We did reach out to Betty Greiner regarding this. They're relatively at the same cost and materials that they were using in the past, and this was something that we felt that we needed to get on and to get going to enhance our safety, security, and sanitation of the facilities, because we have quite a few entities that come in and audit our facility, and physical plant sanitation is one of the highest. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. We have the money in our budget, and that's what I went to Betty with, and she was in favor of that.
Okay. Questions or comments for Mr. Cole?
I don't have any.
And this is a sole source as
Yes.
well, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item D, Sheriff's Office. Number one, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones informing the Commission that he will be purchasing 20 in-car radar units at a cost of $55,000 and 4 handheld units at a cost of $8,780 with funding from the 2017 budget funds.
Morning, Commissioners. Tom Bronaugh, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. I think otherwise affectionately known by Commissioner Archer, and now Commissioner Cook is the captain who doesn't know anything. So with that, I'd like to bring Mr. Knight up to come up and finish my presentation for me this morning. No? I tried.
Well done.
With that, I'll stand in for Sheriff Jones regarding his intent to purchase 20 mobile radar units and 4 handheld LiDAR units. Before I do that, though, I would like to say congratulations to the Commission, Tom Vlach, and Public Works, and all those that were involved with the replacement of the Willard Bridge. Job well done. So, with that, Back to the radars, a couple of years, we've noticed over the course of the last year that we've had an unexpected increase in the number of radars that we've taken out of service for repairs. This is due in large part to the age of the systems. They range between 16 and 22 years of age. When we look at the value or compare the value with these older systems compared to the repair costs, replacement makes the most sense at this time. These vintage radars are valued by some of the government surplus programs between $300 and $500. Many of the repair costs that we have are at or exceeding $1,000 per unit. So kind of equate this to a $2,000 car needing an engine replaced for $4,000. Doesn't make much financial sense if you have the financial means or the means available to replace it. So that's kind of where we are at this point. This was projected in 2016. We had developed a plan to go through 2017 and 2018 and replace them, and we need to take a big bite of the apple at this point. We're at a critical point where systems are failing, and we got to replace them. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Questions for the captain? Commissioner Cook.
I understand we talked before the commission meeting that this is about half of the need of the radars that you're looking at.
Yeah, I'd say we'd probably still have between 15 and 20 more that we will need to replace in 2018.
Okay. So I know that the issue of radars came up not just during the budget hearing, but also with the sheriff, but also during the discussions over the overall budget in August. And so we had identified radars as being a future need of the sheriff's office. So this will start to address the issue, but maybe not completely address it.
Correct. These are replacing some of the systems that are down, completely taken out of service, and it's starting to take that big bite of the apple for those older systems that are, between the 16 and 22 years of age.
And as we discussed, probably just if we could have some maybe correspondence from the sheriff to the commission regarding his capital outlay future plans. We had talked about radars as being part of capital outlay, and that would help us in kind of forecasting where we'll be making those investitures.
I'll pass it along.
Thank you.
Any
Any
other?
further questions? No. I'll move to acknowledge receipt.
Second.
Motion made to acknowledge receipt by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0, and thank you for doing your homework this time, Captain. Next item, please.
Item E, Information Technology. Number 1, consider approval of request to advertise and fill a vacant application developer 1 position at a salary including benefits of $57,290.40.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat Oblander with the Information Technology Department. This item is for an application developer 1 position that we'd like to fill. It's a position we've had open for a little while. We've been working since 2014, since we reorganized much of the IT department on our programming side to adopt agile programming methodologies. We've reached a point where we're ready to create 2 teams that can work in parallel with each other. One team will handle development of new projects, while another team will manage maintenance, which would be going back and visiting other projects and adding features that people have requested and those sorts of things. So we feel like we're to the point where we're ready to divide into 2 on the software development front, have 2 teams working in parallel, and adding this position will allow us to do that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
And where do we stand in implementing that new model, Pat?
The new Agile development model?
Yes.
We've made tremendous progress in adopting that model. Again, we started in 2014.
Right.
This is where we were having individual developers each work on their own project, and we decided that that was not the most efficient way to do software development. Now we have people working in teams, and we tackle one project at a time and throw multiple people at it so that there's cross-training, and we bring together everybody so that if one person leaves employment with Shawnee County, the rest of the team still has all the information they need to support that project. So we've made a lot of progress along those lines. We no longer have one individual responsible for one particular application. A lot of work has gone into getting the methodology set up and the systems that we use to build software, and that's what we've been working on since 2014. So we feel really happy with the result. We've built quite a few applications using that methodology, and we're on the right track. We're really comfortable. The one thing that we don't have is the ability to do multiple projects at the same time, and creating 2 teams would give us the ability to do at least 2 at a time. So that's where we're at in the progression.
But this is a much more customer-driven approach than we've had in the past.
Absolutely,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
We're looking for stability, reliability, and quality of what we develop. So
Okay.
we feel like we've done really well in meeting those goals. So
Okay, thank you. Are there questions or comments for Pat?
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve the request by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Pat.
thank you, Commissioners.
Next item, please.
Item F, Health Department, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-293-2017 with Bob's Janitorial Service and Supply, Inc. to scrub and wax the floors of the Health Department's J.P. Lewis building at a one-time cost of $795.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oakes from the Health Department. Since we moved into our new building, we have had some pretty severe scratching occur in the hallway that leads the front hallway, the waiting room, and the hallway back to the admin area. We fixed the source of those scratches, but we were left with needing to fix them. Now, this floor is the original floor. It was there when we moved in, and it was sealed and waxed, but now it needs this service. We originally talked to our current janitorial contractor, and they informed us that this was not part of the regular maintenance, so they came back with a fairly expensive price. So we called Mr. Kroll, and he suggested we talk to Bob's Janitorial, and they came back and gave us a bid at a much lower cost. So we're asking for approval of this. There's also some different colors in the flooring, and I think they can protect that too and not have them bleed into the other areas. So we would ask for approval of this so we can get those scratches fixed, and we fixed the source of the scratches, so I don't think it'll happen again. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
Questions about the contract?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve the contract by Commissioner Cook, and that was seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F2, consider approval of request to close the immunization and sexually transmitted infections clinic for an outreach flu vaccination clinic on October 17th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Central Park Community Center.
Linda Oakes from the Health Department. We are asking to close these 2 clinics, the immunization clinic and the sexually transmitted infection clinic, for half a day on Tuesday, October 17th, so all our staff can participate in this flu clinic. This is a flu vaccine that we received from the Kansas Department of Health and Environment at no cost to us, so it is available and earmarked for uninsured adults. So this is the first time we've been able to offer that in quite a few years, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then this also gives us a chance to practice our mass dispensing. There's still a few of us left from H1N1, but we're getting fewer and far between as the years go by. So we want to make sure that we are ready and able to respond if we do ever need to have a mass dispensing exercise or clinic. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I'll move to approve the request.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Next item, please.
Item G, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider approval of a request to solicit bids for the construction of the western and northern portions of the Gage Park Trail with grant funding from the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism in the amount of $288,833, and the Sunflower Foundation grant in the amount of $110,000.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Commissioners. Terry Birtles, Parks and Recreation, here today to ask for your approval to request bids for the construction of the specifically northern portion of the Perimeter Trail at Gage Park. That's tied to a National Recreational Trail grant in the amount of $288,000 administered through Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism. We have previous approval to request bids for the western portion, that is Sunflower Foundation grant, $110,000 and a 50-50 match. But it obviously makes good sense to bid these things both at the same time, so asking for your approval to do that today. You may recall, if you don't, I'll remind you that trails are our most popular amenity in our park system. We have been tasked with our master plan to develop up to 150 miles of trails, specifically to build trails in our perimeter trails in our regional and community parks. And we're always looking for grant opportunities to do that. And here we have an opportunity to meet the goals of our master plan and utilize grant money that's available. So again, we're requesting your approval to solicit bids for the northern section of the perimeter trail at Gage Park.
How does this fit in with, I know we're looking at doing a Gage Park master plan. How does this fit in with that, and what's the status of the Gage Park master plan?
Well, I can briefly give you status on that. John could give you a more in-depth because he just was involved in it yesterday.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I think, that from a perspective of a Gage Park master plan, any Gage Park master plan would come out with a need for development of a perimeter trail in the park. I think that's safe to say. So I don't think we're jumping the gun to do this ahead of a master plan. I wouldn't go so far as to say that we're ahead of the game, but I think we all recognize that it would be a popular amenity and would fit into a master plan.
Okay.
Terry, before we go to them.
Yes,
If I
Commissioner
could, so what part of the perimeter trail do we already have finished?
Well, the parts that are finished are the part along Gage Boulevard, the eastern portion, and the southern portion that's part of the construction project, the road construction project along 10th Street. So those parts are both finished. The other half we are responsible for.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I don't have a large update on the Gage Park Master Plan, only to say that we held interviews with 4 companies just yesterday. The selection committee is currently kind of reviewing each one of those proposals. We had some great proposals. Every one of the proposals talked about the issues that we have with Gage Park being navigation, safe pedestrian navigation, safe vehicle navigation, and being able to transport people through the parks. As Terry mentioned, the exterior perimeter trail was discussed as a way for the alternate transportation. So that's part of all of 4 of the people's plans. So be happy to answer any other question you may have.
But there's no conflict?
No.
Okay. Yes, Commissioner
Evelyn,
Beer.
so what's the time frame on bringing that then to the commission, that contract?
Well, we will select the architect in the next few days, pass that on through the county selection services selection committee, and put that out in front of the commissioners for permission to negotiate a contract. So I would say within a month and a half, we could be up and running. We'll also say that all 4 of these companies that we interviewed yesterday were big proponents of public engagement, holding different meetings, going to schools. I know that as we've tried to do these with our own projects with public engagement, we're finding it harder and harder to get people, as busy as they are with young families and those type of things, to come to meetings. So we're starting to begin to take our public engagement process to them and find ways either online or through mail or phone calls, through schools, all of those type of things. And each one of those companies that we interviewed yesterday had some great ideas of how to move that forward.
Good. Just, I was a guest of Shepherd Center discussion, and they were very passionate about Gage Park, and so my guess is they would welcome you as a guest.
Churches, schools, all of those are great places to meet people where they're at. Yeah.
Good.
That is a passionate group.
Yes.
Okay. Any other? Commissioner Cook?
The grant from the Sunflower Foundation grant, $110,000 was a 50-50 match.
Correct.
The award from the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism, is the $288,833.
Correct.
Was that a 50-50, 80-20?
80-20.
Okay.
Yes.
So our portion is 20% of.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Just trying to make sure that we kind of keep our awards.
Roughly $150,000, I believe.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Terry. Next item, please.
Item G2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-294-2017 with Topeka Young Life to provide programming that includes activities for education, development, wellness, mentorship, and community benefit with in-kind services from the county, including publicity and assistance with activity materials.
Good morning, Commissioner. Susan Fowler, Hensler of Parks and Recreation. It is Parks and Rec's desire, obviously, to be successful, and to do that, we need to tailor our services to meet the needs of the community. So our objectives are to keep youth safe, active, and engaged in the community. And the contract before you today with Young Life, this is an organization that shares those same commitments of keeping kids safe, modeling lives of hope and integrity that they create through sponsored activities that they'll host at Central Park Community Center. Young Life starts with adults that are concerned with their community and the kids. With me today is Evan Robinson with Young Life, and he'll be able to answer questions for you if you'd like to ask him anything. But Young Life starts with adults, and they try to take their activities kind of to the youth, to their turf, to their culture, build bridges with them, and start a friendship with the kids in the community. They welcome everybody to their activities. They focus on kids in diverse communities and in areas of economically depressed areas. The youth from Topeka High, Robinson Middle School, over by Central Park Community Center, they really prefer to gather at a place like a recreation center, that environment that it gives them. That way, they also can come back to experience other activities like drop-in basketball and things like that. Also today is Brent Reese, who is the recreation leader at Central Park, and he works well with the students. He's a fairly new employee for Parks and Recreation, but some of the best qualities I see about Brent is that he has really built mutual respect with the kids that come into Central Park. So him and Evan together have some great plans for programming over there. So if you have any questions on that contract, we'd be happy to answer.
Are there questions?
I don't know if there's questions, but I would like those two individuals to come up to the podium. I think that'd be good to hear from you. Fine-looking young men, why not? Yeah.
These are great young men and leaders in the future of our community.
Well, yeah, I'm Evan Robinson. I work with Topeka High School doing Young Life there, so. Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brent Reese, work with Central Park with Shawnee County Parks and Rec.
Great.
All right.
Very good.
Thanks for having us.
I'll move approval of the contract.
I'll second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Susan. Next item, please.
Item G3, consider authorization and execution of contract C-295-2017 with Pyramid USA, Inc. as a sole source for the installation of an aquatic feature at Hillcrest Pool in the amount of $7,800 with funding from the Parks and Recreation Building Maintenance Fund.
Good morning, Commissioner. Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. This is a sole source purchase, but it's a sole source purchase because it's the only one that makes it. It's an aqua zip for Hillcrest Pool, and this is part of our process of updating our pools and bringing new features in. I know the pools are closed, but this is something we can all look forward to for next year, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Questions for Sean? Yes, Commissioner Cook.
As far as the installation of this at the Hillcrest Pool, where is it that we're looking at having this? I mean, because we talked about kind of changing some things around at Hillcrest.
I'll have Dave come
I
up.
saw David in the back. So.
David Dallaker, Aquatic Supervisor, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. We were replacing the double tube slide. I'm going to put this amenity in its place.
Okay. And we had some double tube slide was coming to the end of its lifespan.
Yes. We had an inspection this last summer. The joints that we did in the previous presentation, the joints are starting to get rusted, a little wobbly. A guy my size, the thing would shake very rigorously. So we decided to change something up, make it more fresh, more new. This is something new that's just came out on the market within the last 2 years.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll move approval.
I thought you would. Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you very much, Sean. Next item, please, ma'am.
Item G4, consider awarding bid for the purchase of tulip bulbs for 2 KRS in the amount of $20,407.30.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd, Parks and Rec. We are requesting approval for tulip bulbs for 2018's tulip time. Dave Bartles is here if you have any specific questions about the bulbs. The funding does come from the Parks and Rec Foundation.
Fully funded by
Yes.
the foundation? Okay. Commissioners, any questions? Or?
It's a lot of tulip bulbs.
It is a lot.
Not a lot of tulips.
I don't have any questions. I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Cook and seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Next item, please.
Item H, Administrative Services, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-296-2017 with Arbitrage Compliance Specialists, Inc. for arbitrage rebate calculation services for the Shawnee County Certificate of Participation Series 2012 at a cost of $1,500 with funding from the county's general expenses.
Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. This is a routine requirement for our financing through certificates of participation after 5 years from the date of issue. You have to have this calculation done. It's basically to verify that we did not earn more income on investing the proceeds than we spent on the interest that we paid. You can't basically play the spread for financing. And they calculate this amount. If there is a rebate, that rebate has to be paid to the federal government. So it's just a routine calculation that we have done. And it's coming before you. It's only $1,500, but it's coming for you because it is a contract.
Questions for Betty? I'll move to approve the contract.
Second.
Motion made to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Betty. Next item, please.
Item I, Commission number 1, consider appointment of Matt Pettit to the Jayhawk Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council effective October 1, 2017.
I'll move approval.
Okay.
That appointment.
Second.
Motion made to approve the appointment by Commissioner Bueller, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Step right up. Morning, Kellen.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, Inspector of Venue Management, the Kansas Expo Center. I'm happy to announce on Friday of last week we officially started our contract to manage the Expo Center with the county. So we are excited to be in the market and happy to get things underway. Last weekend we just finished up the Cowgirl Tough Barrel Bash with just under 1,500 participants. Coming up this weekend we have 3 great events. The Midwest Mayhem MMA Boxing event, which takes place at 6 o'clock on Saturday in the arena. The Great Plains Hunter and Jumper Equine event, which takes place starting at Saturday morning at 8 a.m. inside Dome Arena. And the TopCon Comic Con event, which takes place from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday inside the Expo Hall. Also wanted to give a brief tease to some event announcements coming up the week of September the 18th, so keep your eyes and ears posted there. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Kel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Recreation. As you're aware, this time of year we have our Huff and Puff Balloon Rally. It's the 42nd year for the Huff and Puff Balloon Rally, and it's the 20th year at Lake Shawnee. The activities start on Friday with a launch window between 6 and 7 p.m., and then they'll have a glow immediately following, which is about 7:30. Saturday morning from 7 to 8 in the morning, they'll have a launch window, and then again at 6 and 7 that night, and a glow at 7:30, and they'll repeat the same launch window in the morning on Sunday. Sunday from 7 to 8. This is one of our most popular events. We expect, with the weather's going to be beautiful, we expect a huge crowd. Commissioner Bueller, this is another chance for you. We're running out of time. I talked to your daughter. She would really like to go up with but anyway, you still got that opportunity if you need it. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Vlach, Public Works Solid Waste. Just want to let everyone know that beginning next week, we are going to be commencing on a mill and overlay project on Southwest Auburn Road between 45th and 61st Street. We'll have Bettis Asphalt come in and do the milling for us, and then our own crews will come in and do the overlay. So it should take, hopefully not quite a couple weeks, but up to a couple weeks. We just ask people to please be patient and drive slowly through the work zone, because oftentimes, even though we're improving the road, people get impatient. So, but for the next week and a half to 2 weeks, we'll be out there. So, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Kalis with the Health Department. On September 19th and for about a week thereafter, the Shawnee County staff and some volunteers will be doing a community-wide survey of one of our programs. We're going to be using a new tool that was not developed but fulfilled for us by one of our Masters of Public Health student interns. And we will be going out to the community, interviewing 210 households at their homes about one of our programs to get information about the program, but also to test this evaluation tool to see if it's something that we might use in the future. In addition to the survey itself, you'll get a written report after the fact, and then the intern will also provide training for our staff to help us understand how this works and how we can replicate the process after it's done.
Thank you, Ed. Anyone else for administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Cook.
I understand that there's a JADO meeting coming up on the 13th, which is next Wednesday. Look at our September, we need to flip over our September calendar. We're still in August.
But we're in the right year.
Yeah, we're in the right year. But we do have a JADO meeting coming up, some discussion, but also thank the Capital Journal for the series of articles on the East Topeka Learning Center. It's a opportunity for East Topeka, and it's an opportunity for our workforce development and for Shawnee County. And thank you for, this opportunity to get the information out as to what's going to be coming to our community.
Very good. Very good, Commissioner.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. A couple of notes. I have been summoned for jury duty on Monday, and so I may not be here. But I have confidence that Commissioner Cook can handle the job if I'm not here. On a serious note, as a representative of Shawnee County, I just wanted to express our thoughts and prayers for the people that are recovering down in Texas from Hurricane Harvey, and of course now we have an imminent threat from Hurricane Irma in the state of Florida, and then we've got family in Charlotte, and it's supposed to go up that way. And so I just wanted to express our thoughts and prayers for all those people that are recovering and that are in harm's way. So that's all I wanted to say. Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
There's not a need, so thank you for coming. We're officially adjourned.